Now at 6, a bill advancing through the Oklahoma House would ban emergency contraception. Plus, we'll hear from a Missouri Southern professor about election concerns surrounding artificial intelligence. And it's President's Day. We see how much local students know about our leaders, past and present.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Oklahoma lawmakers advance a bill that would ban emergency contraception and create a database of people who have had an abortion. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. A state House committee last week advanced the bill. If passed, it would require prescription to access Plan B and other forms of birth control. It would also allow civil lawsuits against anyone who helps a woman get an abortion and create a state database to track who had the procedure. Opponents say the bill could make contraception inaccessible to many women and would violate the privacy of citizens. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is continuing to grow in popularity and can be found all across the web. KOAM's Samantha Walker sat down with an AI researcher to learn how this advancing technology could affect election season.
So this is an actor. This is not Tom Cruise.
Artificial intelligence is something you might use every day, from autocorrect to chatbots and image generators. But AI-generated images and videos, sometimes referred to as deepfakes, are raising concerns. Diana Fordham is an instructor at MSSU and researches AI.
I say often, this genie is not going to be put back in the bottle. This is here to stay, and it's only going to get better.
There are numerous free sites where users can generate an image with just a few clicks. But researchers say these tools can be dangerous during election season.
We are not prepared for what is going to happen on this election season. We have already seen, just an example, the one that came right to mind was that Joe Biden's voice was used on a robocall.
Fordham says that while some AI products have cues that help you tell they were generated, the technology is advancing every day. She says it's important to fact-check and research this election season.
I question everything. I research everything, and that's what I would propose that people do when they come across any article that they think could be misinformation.
She said AI technology can have many uses, but to watch out for wrongdoers.
This type of technology is used for good and evil.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
And Fordham says AI is not going away, so voters need to stay aware of its abilities for future elections. To learn more about AI, you can visit our website at koamnewsnow.com. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joining us now with a first look at weather.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a great Monday for us today. Still, temperatures right now are pretty nice. Our evening daylight hours starting to extend, which is kind of nice to see. 50 in Stockton, 57 in Neosho, Miami at 56, Pittsburgh sitting at 53, 54 in Parsons. So we'll slowly drop back as we go through the next few hours. A little breezy at times today. We've had those southerly winds, 5 to 10 to 15. These are going to back down as we go through the next couple hours. We'll slide back through the 50s. 40s eventually later on tonight. Kind of cool, hovering just above freezing, but we're really going to warm up the next few days. We do have some clouds kind of shooting through, and there's been a couple little tiny sprinkles, not a big deal, kind of working out of the region, and then we look pretty good as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Warming up next few days, a little breezy, isolated thunderstorms Wednesday night. We're going to look at all of that coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. A representative from the EPA is in Caney, Kansas this week to talk to residents about soil remediation and testing. The rep will be at the Caney Library on Wednesday and Thursday, answering questions from residents and signing them up to allow the agency to remove and replace contaminated soil on their properties. This is the second round of remediation in Caney. The EPA completed the first round and then changed its threshold for what is safe. Now they're trying to meet the new threshold. Today is President's Day, but how much do people in the 4 states actually know about our nation's leaders? KOAM's Anthony Saviello put 4 staters' presidential knowledge to the test.
An extended weekend for kids in our area thanks to the federal holiday we have come to know as President's Day. Do you know why you're out of school today?
Lay down with your eyes
Parent-teacher conference.
Close.
Wrestling tournament?
No. Do you know why you're not in school today? Today is President's Day. For kids, Monday may just be another day off school. But how much do they know about our nation's presidents? Very first president of the United States.
Donald Trump?
Now, President's Day falls on the third Monday of February every year. But do 4-staters know why it falls on that particular day? Maybe college students know a little better. Why do we celebrate President's Day on this day? Whose birthday does it fall on?
I have no idea. George Washington?
That is correct,
okay.
yeah.
Is that when the White House burned down?
No, that is not when the White House burned down. Surely they know the faces of the presidents carved into Mount Rushmore.
Abraham Lincoln, George Washington.
John F. Kennedy. Yeah, JFK.
No, that is not. No?
Lincoln is up there. Jefferson. Roosevelt, Teddy.
Is Abe Lincoln up there?
He is.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Correct, that's
Okay.
3.
Thomas Jefferson. Come on, man.
Though many know that George Washington was the first president and Joe Biden is the current president, some fun facts we just don't realize. The fact that James Madison was the shortest, and the fact that William Henry Harrison only spent 31 days in office sometimes go overlooked. But it's important to remember our nation's history and the leaders that carried us to where we are now. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Well, some other fun facts you may not know about our presidents is that James Garfield was the first known left-handed president, and Theodore Roosevelt was the youngest president to take office. I doubt my kids even know it's President's Day. They know they're out of school for Parent-Teachers Conference. Well, coming up, KOAM hosts another flag swap event to help 4-staters replace their American flags. Plus, with the warmer temperatures, more snakes are coming out of hibernation in the area. KOAM's Great American Flag Swap is back. Today we held our first flag swap event of the year at the Roper Honda dealership in Joplin. Like always, folks were able to bring their old tattered flags and get them exchanged for a new one. We then take the old ones and have them properly disposed of.
It actually helps rejuvenate patriotism in our nation. Too oftentimes I think we take the flag for granted and what it represents. And I feel this was one great way to just reignite that patriotism.
The next flag swap will be on May 21st at Jake's Fireworks in Pittsburgh. While it's nice that milder temperatures are back, we are not the only ones taking advantage. Nick Kelly explains why snakes are returning early and how you can keep them away from your house.
Milder temperatures Monday meant people taking advantage of time outside. Teresa Owen, visiting from out of town, came with her husband to the Springfield Conservation Nature Center to look for animals along the trail. She was also keeping an eye out for snakes.
We didn't see any snakes, but you're right, they would be out on the trails where, especially out in the sunny areas where the rocks would be warmed up, they would probably be out there.
It's not just the hikers keeping an eye out for snakes. Some area pest control companies have had calls for snake control come earlier than normal this year.
They are seeing snakes coming out of hibernation, so there's full-grown snakes in their yard or whatever. But actually, one of the calls I dealt with was a hatchling. It was a baby snake. It was this long at somebody's doorstep here in Springfield.
Our milder temperatures this winter meant snakes either stayed more active than normal or have left hibernation early. Experts say snakes, poisonous or not, found on your property or in your home should be handled by professionals with the proper tools and knowledge to safely remove them. Specialists will also have the proper repellent to put around your home and property to keep them away in the future. Experts say there are simple steps you can take to make sure your property becomes less appealing to snakes in the coming warmer months. That includes cleaning up your yard of any places for them to hide.
Make sure they don't have excess clutter in their yards. They like to hide in brush. They like to be up underneath bushes and stuff like that. They like to hide in rocks, so excess of any of those things is just going to be more conducive for a snake.
While pest control experts are ready for more snake calls this year, Teresa is already prepared for more hikes outside.
That's why we have jeans and shoes on. I noticed other people wearing shoes that I would not walk this trail in. But yes, I always wear, especially even for poison ivy.
A little later, Missouri Southern baseball looks to extend its winning streak to 8 as they take on the University of Mary.
Plus, we're really going to start to warm up again over the next few days. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, it turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Of course, it turned much colder on Friday, and Saturday started to warm back up a little bit for us yesterday, and then pushing 60 for us today. But look at Saturday. We only had a high of 33 degrees, but majority of this month, after majority of the month of January was below average, now we're seeing mainly above average, which is kind of nice to see. Let's go outside. Here's a nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We're looking downtown Joplin, off toward the north and to the east. You can see some clouds out there, but in general, it looks pretty good. Temperatures still fairly nice. 57 in Anderson, Cassville. We have 56 in Miami, Chanute 52. Nevada is sitting at 50 degrees. We'll tumble back through the 50s into the 40s, but still 7th in range line sitting at 55. South winds 5 to 10. A little bit higher than that earlier today. The winds are starting to come down just a little bit as we get closer to dark, but still we have a little bit of a southerly breeze. All right, we're going to slide back through the 50s, 40s. We'll bottom out 33 or 34 later on tonight. So it is going to be kind of cold, but we're going to continue to warm up. Weak little wave has been shifting through. With this wave, we've had a couple little isolated showers. Most of this has not reached the ground, but there have been a couple little sprinkles out there. This is going to quickly race off toward the east, and then we look pretty good for our weather tonight into tomorrow. A whole lot of nothing. If we go out toward the west, here's our next wave. Right across parts of California, you can actually see a tornado warning, very atypical for the state of California. This wave is going to kind of flatten out and weaken as it heads toward us, but it will head toward us by the time we get into late Wednesday and Thursday. So you can watch the wave. It shoots out into the Central Plains, may give us a few isolated thunderstorms. It shoots by late this week into the weekend. Fantastic weather continues. Then the pattern starts to pick up a little bit as we get into next week. Here comes a stronger system moving in on Monday. Another one is going to be right behind it. So next week will be much more active compared to what we are going to see this week. But if we jump to next Monday, we do have at least a hot spot for some stronger thunderstorms next Monday into Tuesday. All right, let me walk you through time tonight. Clear skies, slide back 32, 33, 34 degrees. As we get into your noon hour tomorrow, lower 60s, warmer tomorrow compared to what we are seeing today, and then 66, 67, 68 degrees for afternoon highs. Tomorrow evening, we drop back and eventually mid-40s by Wednesday morning. A lot of clouds on Wednesday. It's going to be breezy, but we go near 70 for a high. Wednesday night, especially after midnight, we could see a few scattered thunderstorms that try to pop up. So that's something we'll also keep our eyes on over the next couple days. All right, 34 in the morning, 58 by noon. High temp of 67 tomorrow, 72 on Wednesday, 64 on Thursday with those morning showers. And then look at this, 64 Friday, near 70 as we head into the weekend. So it's going to feel very spring-like this coming weekend.
Yeah, and no complaints from me on that. Yes, that's going to be lovely.
Yeah, it looks good.
February in the spring.
There you go.
Take it. Well, still ahead, Riverton and Pittsburgh meet on the basketball floor tonight. And Missouri Southern baseball tries to remain undefeated on its home field. John Dales has that and more up next in sports.
Missouri Southern baseball is coming off a 3-0 weekend with home wins over Minnesota State Mankato, Lewis, and Illinois Springfield. This afternoon, the Lions try to improve their home record to 8-0. University of Mary visits Joplin to face the 14th ranked Lions. Bottom of the second inning, game's tied at 1 when Henry Kuziak rips a double down the left field line. The Lions are going to take the lead on that swing of the bat, 2-1. Next batter, Ethan Clark, hammers a pitch to deep left center, but check this out. Diving catch by the University of Mary left fielder Michael Polson prevents 2 more runs from coming in. Marauders in the third with runners on the corner, get the double steal, safe at second and safe at home. Umeri in front, bottom of the fourth, same score. Drew Townsend breathes life into the Lions. He hits his first home run of the season. That ties the game at 3. Next inning, same score up until Garrett Rice smacks an RBI single into right center. That puts Southern in front 4-3, and the Lions hang on down the stretch. They score 3 in the 7th inning. They win their 8th in a row, 7-4 the final score. And it's the final week of the regular season for both Pittsburgh and Riverton boys basketball. Tonight, the two of them meet for the only time this season, which pits one of the best 5A teams in SEK against one of the top contenders from 3A. That contest tips off at 7:30. Purple Dragons have won 7 in a row. Most recently, a 4-point overtime victory at Fort Scott on Friday. The Rams have won 2 in a row. Both of those were on the road. We'll have the highlights from the Rams and Purple Dragons tonight at 9 on Fox 14, then on KOAM News at 10. Carl Junction girls basketball lost in the final 10th of a second in its last game. That was against Ozark Thursday night. Tonight, senior night for the Lady Bulldogs. They host Webb City. This will go down as the final meeting between the two of them while they're both members of the COC. Remember, Carl Junction leaving for the Ozark Mountain Conference at the beginning of the next school year. Tonight at 10, we'll have the highlights between the Lady Bulldogs and Lady Cardinals. Kansas State shocked the college basketball world a couple weeks ago when it took down then 4th-ranked Kansas 75-70 in overtime. The Wildcats have lost their 2 games since then, though, to BYU and TCU. Tonight, K-State attempts to right the ship on the road in Austin. The Longhorns coming off a 21-point road loss to 3rd-ranked Houston. This game tips off at 8 o'clock. And Texas getting very familiar with the Sunflower State and its teams this week. On Saturday, the Jayhawks host UT. That's it for sports. We'll be back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Columbus, Kansas students today came to school in style for National FFA Week. Plus, the Chanute Public Library hosts a book club event, minus the part where you talk about the book. And a new report shows more Americans are relying on tax refunds to get by. Those stories and a lot more tonight on the KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Final check of the weather.
Yeah, it looks pretty good as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. A little bit on the chilly side. We'll drop back lower 30s, but 67 tomorrow, 72 on Wednesday. A few isolated thunderstorms late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, but look at this, 60s and 70s for highs for the next 8 days.
Good weather for going outside to shoot sports.
Yeah, definitely. And Pitt State baseball so far this season, they already have one of their players getting recognition from the MIAA. Carson Coffey named the MIAA Hitter of the Week after a week where he hits 4 home runs. So very deserving of that award.
That's awesome. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.